Hi everyone, how are you? Today we're going to talk about multiples. So our new lesson is about multiples. You will find this lesson in textbooks in your textbook page number 53. So in textbook page number 53. We want to talk about multiples today. What is the multiple for some numbers? We want to focus on some numbers. But before that, you have to take a quick look at two words. The first word is multiples and the second word is a factor. So we need to know what is the meaning of multiple and factor. Factors and multiples are different things. Okay, so when you hear the word factors and the word multiple, they are completely different. But you have to know that you will find them in the same place, you will find them in the same area. But they both involve in multiplication, which is multiplication. So they are completely different, but you have to know that you will find them or they will be repeated all the time when we are talking about multiplication. What are the factors? Factors are what we can multiply to get the number. So if I have a number and I want to multiply it with another number, I will have the answer. So these both numbers I will multiply them with each other, I will call them factors, and you will understand it more with these examples. Like if I say 3 times 5, the answer is going to be 15. So 3 and 5 are the factors. So if you multiply them by each other, the answer is going to be 15. What is the meaning of multiples? The multiples are what we get. So the answer, so we call the answer multiple, the multiple, okay? So what we get after multiplying the number by an integer, not a fraction. So if you multiply two numbers together like this one, here you have 5 times 4, we call 5 a factor, 4 is a factor, and 20 is a multiple. So 5 and 4 is going to be a factor for 20, and 4 and 20 is a multiple of 4 and a multiple of 5, okay? Because if you multiply 5 with something, we don't know what is it, the answer is going to be 20. And if you multiply 4 with something, you will have answer as a 20. So if I tell you, if I divided 20 on 4, what is the answer? It's going to be 5, okay? So if I divide it into group of 4, each group will have 5 as a factor for 20, a factor for 20. So the first step, you need to know what's the difference between the factor and the multiple. The factors are what we can multiply with each other to get the answer, and the multiples is the answer, and that's what we get after multiplying these two numbers with each other. Now here we have factors, the number that are multiplied to get a given number. Factors of 12, for example, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. These numbers, if you multiply 1 times 12 equal 12, 2 times 6 equal 12, 3 times 4 equal 12, 4 times 3 equal 12, 6 times 2 equal 12, and 12 times 1 equal 12. So all these numbers, we call them factors for number 12, because if you multiply them with another number, you will have the answer as 12. There will always be fewer factors because there are a set number of ways to multiply to get a given number. Now the multiples, the number you say when you skip count, okay, and focus on the word skip count. By a given number, multiples of 12, they are the 12, 24, 36, 48, 60, and etc. Okay, so you always have more multiples, okay, so more multiples because numbers are infinite, okay, multiples are infinite. Now, so always the factor is going to be smaller, fewer than the number itself, and the multiple should be more than the number itself. So we're starting from 12, and each time we are skip counting by 12. So we are adding 12 each time if I'm talking about the multiples of 12, for example. Now here for another example for number 4, like I hope here to explain what is what is the multiples. What are the multiples? So what's the meaning of the multiple of any number? Take a look at this number line here. I have 4. If I add another 4, I will have 8. If I add another 4, I will have 12, and so on. So I'm skip counting. I'm counting on by 4 each time I'm adding 4. So all these numbers, we said that these are multiple of 4, okay, multiple of 4. If I multiply, if I add each time 4, so the number is going to be a multiple of 4, okay. So a multiple of a number is the result of multiplying this number by another whole number. Multiple equal a number times any other number, okay. So the multiple is the answer of multiplying. Now take a look here. If you want to find a multiple of any number, like if I give you any number, if I tell you any number with under 0, it will be very easy for you, you know that, because you just memorize the times table. If I give you any number like, give me miss the multiple for number 3, you will start remembering the times table for 3. You will say, okay miss, it's 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, and so on, okay. So you'll start memorize the times table. But what if I give you a number more than 10? More than 10, how can you give me the multiple for that number? I told you that the multiple always is more, like the number and more, because I'm starting from the number itself. Like here, multiple of 12, you have count on by 12. You start with 12, then you start each time to add another 12. So you have 24, add 12, 36, add 12, 48. So you know how can I get this? If I said 12 times 1, repeat the 12 one time, you will have 12. If you repeat it 2 times, you have 12 and the 12, so you have 24. So 2 times, so this is the second step, which is 2 times 12 equal 24. 3 times 12 equal 36. 4 times 12 equal 48. 5 times 6 equal 5 times 12 equals 60. So I am counting how many steps? 1, 2. So I have here 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so each time I multiply this number with another number, which is 12, with another number, I repeat it that time. I add each time the same number, I count on by this number. Now what are the multiple of 15? I am counting on by 15. I am adding each time 15. So I have 15, 30, 45, 60. So if I tell you what is the third multiple, of 15, the third multiple which is repeat the 15 3 times. That means 15 times 3, which is 15, 30, and 45. So this is the third, this is the first, the second, and the third. So this is the third multiple of 15, which is 45. Okay, here if I want the multiple of 24, I'm counting on by 24. If I ask you what is the fourth multiple for 24, you have to say, okay, it's 4 times 24, or 24 times 4. Okay, repeat the 24 4 times. I will repeat it. This is the first time. Add it, 2, 3, and 4. The answer is going to be 96. So the 96 is the fourth multiple of the 24. So this is a quick revision for what is the meaning of multiples and what is the meaning for factors. So the factors that these are two numbers that you multiply to have the answer, and the answer we call it the multiple. So the multiple is that when we count on by that number. Now take a look again at these numbers. If I want to divide this number into groups of 12, like I want to 24 divided by 12, I will have two groups, because when I multiply 12 times 2, I have 24. Okay, so you have no leftover, so that we call it multiple. So the multiple of any number, when we divide this multiple on this number, you will have no leftover, no number left behind without any match. Okay, so you cannot divide it into groups of 2 or groups of 3 or groups of that factor. Okay, perfect. Now look at your textbook. Look at your textbook. It's page 54. Page 54. I have here, how can we find the multiple of 25? I want you to start with this one. I want to give you just a quick revision. How can we find the multiple of 25? Okay, if you have any number under 10, you can find the multiple of that number by looking at the times table, right? But we said, what if this number exceed number 10? We can find the multiple of 25 by counting on in 25, just like the previous slide. We have to put the 25 in the beginning, at the beginning. So this is the 25. It's the 25, so we're starting 1 times 25 equal 25. 2 times, if you repeat the 25 2 times, you will have 50. If you repeat it 3 times, you will have 75. So you are counting on 25s, and this is the first multiple, the second multiple, and the third multiple, and go on. So if you keep just counting on, they want to ask you, is the 350 a multiple of 25? Okay, now if I want to just keep counting each time on the number line, sometimes they will give us a big number, and that will be really hard for us to find that number. Okay, so it will take lots of time. So I will try to use this way by dividing. We say that we have to divide the 350 on the 25 without any remainders, without any leftovers, so that yes, this is a multiple of 25. Okay, if I have no leftovers, no remainders, I will say yes, it's a multiple. If I have a remainder, it will not be a multiple. Okay, now I will divide 350 on groups of 25 or on 25. I will ask myself, how many 25 do I have? I have in the 35, how many 25? I have just 1. 1 times 25, which is 25. Then I have 10 left over. The 10 is not enough to divide it on the 25, so I will get the 0 down. I have 100. The 100 have 4 25, so 4 times 25 equal 100, as you see here. Okay, so 100 is multiple of the 25, so you will find the answer. It's 4. 4 times 25 equal 100, and no leftovers here, no remainder. So yes, I can say that the 350 is a remainder, is a multiple of 25. So 350 can be divided exactly by 25. So if you multiply 25 times 14, if you repeat the 25 14 times, you will have the answer as 350. So the 350 is a multiple of 25. We have learned multiple of 5. You know how to find the multiple of 5 by looking at the times table for 5, which is 5, 10, 15, 20, and so on. Can you see what some multiples of 50? So they want us to find some multiple of 50. Now if I have 1 times 5 equal 5, but what about 1 times 50? It's 50. 2 times 5 equal 10. 2 times 50, it's a 100. So they move the 0 to the answer, and they write, they hide it, they move it to the answer, and then they multiply the rest of the numbers. The first 6 multiple of 5 are 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, like you see here in the table. So the first 6 multiple of 50, we just add 0 to the answer. Okay, so we just add 0 to the answer. So here, 5 times 10 equal 50. Multiple of 50 must be divisible by 5 and by 10. We will talk more about this later. So here, how can I find, if I want to find a multiple for a number, I have to count on by this number. Now look at your textbook. It's page, this one is the textbook page number 53. It's on page number 53. In the top you will find here, what are some multiples of 5? What are some multiples of 5? Now here in our video, we will talk about multiples for 5, multiples for 10, and multiples for 100, which is our lesson for today, okay? We will talk first about multiples of 5. Now, if the number under 50, you can say, okay, what is the number that I multiply it with 5? The answer is going to be this answer. But what if the number exceeds 50? Like if I give you 261 or 260, how can you tell? It's not within our textbook, right? It's not with the times table that we all know. So how can I tell if it's the multiple of 5? There is a big rule that will help you to tell if this number is a multiple of the 5 or not. If you keep counting on by 5, you will find that all the ones that you will find in the answer is going to be even 0 or 5. So we know that the last digits of all the answers on the times table of number 5 are 0 or 5. So the first one, 1 times 5, it's 5. So the answer, the ones is 5. 2 times 5, it's 10. 3 times 5, it's 15. 4 times 5, it's 20. So all the answers contain in their ones place, even 0 or 5. So all the multiples of 5 must be either 5 or 0 in their last digit. So if the ones place 0 or 5, this number is going to be a multiple of 5. So look at number 261. Is the ones place here a 0? No. Is it 5? No. So this number is not a multiple. As you see here, when they did the division, they have one remainder. So this is not a multiple of 5 because the last number, which is the ones place, it's not 0 or 10. So we cannot divide it exactly on 5. So this factor or this number is not a multiple of number 5. So a big rule is multiple of 5, numbers that ends with 0 or 5. Let's take here a look. Circle the numbers that are multiple of 5. Here you have 53. Is it a multiple of 5? You have to check. Is the ones place here, the ones place, is it 0 or 5? No, it's not. So we will not circle it. The next number, 310. Is it a multiple of 5? Is it 0 or 5? Yes. So I will circle it as answer. It's yes, a multiple of 5. Here, 55. Is it a multiple of 5? Is the ones place 5 or 0? Yes, it's 5. So I will circle it. 26. No. 250, it's 0, so I have to circle it. 578, 87, no. So next it's 945, yes, so I circle it. How about 3100? Yes, it has a ones place, which is 0, so I circle it. Next, ones place is 5, so I circle it. The ones place is 1 is not factor, and this it's not a multiple, sorry. Here the ones place is 4, so it's not a multiple of 5. Now we know that the multiple of 5 should end with 0 or 5 for its ones place. Now let's take a look at page 55. Page 55. It's talking about the multiple of 10. So we want to talk about the multiple of 10. Now let's take a look at 250. Is it multiple of 10? How can I tell? Because wow, the number is exceeding than 100. Because you know the biggest number that you take, it's 10 times 10 equal 100. But what if the number more than 100? How can I tell if it's multiple of 10 or not? It's not in the times table that we know. So how can I tell? There's a big rule says we know that all the numbers that ends, so in the ones place, ends with the digit 0 are multiple of 10. So if you find the number ends with 0, so it is a multiple of 10. So the big rule, multiple of 10, numbers that ends with 0. Let's take a look here. 93, it's not end, it doesn't end with 0, so it's not a factor, sorry, it's not a multiple. 30, it's end with 0, so it's a multiple. 50, it's end with 0, so it's a multiple of 10. Here 93, it's the same, no. 254, it's not. 150, yes, it's a multiple of 10. 3700, it's not. It is a multiple of 0 of 10 because it's end with 0. 6940, it's a multiple of 10. Here, circle it, because it's end with 0. 2214, it's not, we will not circle it. 3000 here, 3700, it's a multiple. And 8974, it's not a multiple of 10. It's not a multiple of 10 because it doesn't end with 0. It should end with zeros, because if you keep counting by 10, if you keep adding 10 to the 100, you will find all the numbers will end with 0. So the multiple of 10 should end with 0. Now we will talk about the multiple of 100. Take a look at your textbook, page 55 again. You have here, they are asking, is 360 a multiple of 100? So we said that we have multiple of 5, multiple of 10, and now we are talking about multiple of 100. Is number 360 a multiple of 100? A multiple of 100 has 2 zeros at the ends, at the last 2 digits. So the multiples of 100, they should be 100, 200, 300, 400, and all the numbers that ends with 2 zeros. Okay, ends with 2 zeros. So is this number a multiple of 100? It's not, because it doesn't end with 2 zeros. It has only 1 zero. So this is a multiple of 10. Okay, or a multiple of 5, because we said that 5 0 or 5, and the 10 0, and the 100 2 zeros. So the big rule for the 100 number that ends with 2 zeros. Let's take some examples. The first one is 8,900. It ends with 2 zeros. Circle it. The second one, it's 65,001. This is not, so we will not circle it. 200, it is a multiple. It's end with 2 zeros. And here, these are numbers that it's not end with 2 zeros, so they are not. And 6,500, it ends with 2 zeros. And 3,500, it's end with 2 zeros, so we circle it. And the last 2 numbers are not a multiple of 100, because we need 2 zeros at the end, so we can call the number a multiple of 100. Now let's take a look very fast at the divisibility rule. A number is divisible. Divisible means we can divide it without a remainder. So it's a factor. So we can multiply 2 numbers with a result and no leftover. Okay, I can find another number, will multiply it with this number, and no leftover, no remainder, if the following conditions are met. So if you have a number and the last number is even, so we can divide it by 2. We can divide it 2, so it's a multiple of 2. It's a multiple of 2. Number 5, if the last digit 0 or 5, it will be the multiple of 5. Multiple of 5. This divisible means it's you can divide it into a number without leftovers. It's like multiple of the 10. The last digit should be 0, and the last digit should be 2 zeros if we are dividing if we're trying to find a multiple for 100. So the divisibility means that you are able to divide it a number evenly without any leftover. Okay, now we will do some textbook exercises. Take a look at your textbook, page 55 and 56. The first one in 55, try this. Is 32 a multiple of 10? Is it a multiple of 10? No, because we need here the ones place is not 0, it should be 0. Is the 120 a multiple of 10? Yes, because it ends with 0. What are the first 3 multiples of 25. We have to skip counting by 25. There are 25, then 50 and 75. We are adding 25 each time. Skip counting by 25. What is the seventh multiple of 50? Seventh multiple of 50, like we are saying, 7 times 50, which is 350. This is the answer for this question. Now take a look at page 56. 56, it's on your own. What are the first 6 multiple of 25? We are repeating the 25 one time. 25, 50, 75, 100, 125 and 150. The first 6 multiples of 25 we have here 25, 50, 75, 100, 125 and 150. So like here you are multiply them or repeat them many times. Now take a look at number 2. What is the 10th multiple of 10? Do you know what's the meaning of 10th multiple of 10? That means if you multiply it 10 times, or you say 10 times 10 equal 100. What is the 5th multiple? 5th multiple repeated 5 times. Yani 5 times 50 equal 250. And what is the 6th, which is 6 times 100, which is 600. You answer, you move zeros and you multiply the 6. Okay, look at the numbers below. Which numbers are multiple of 5? You have to search for 5 or 0, and all of them have 5 and 0, so all of them are multiples of 5. Which numbers are multiple of 25? 25, so you have to skip counting by 25. They should be 25 or more, and they are divisible or multiples of 5. Okay, so they are all multiple of 5. They are all multiple of 5. If you keep counting, you will find them all. Okay, which number is a multiple of 10? They should end with 0, so just 300. Which number is multiple of 50? They should end with the 50. You should end with, it's like multiple of 10, so it should be 50 or more, and it ends with 0, so only 300. And which number is a multiple of 100? So it should end with 2 zeros, which is 300. And that's it for today. Your homework is worksheet number 13 on your workbook, page 35, 34 and 36. Please do them all, and thank you for watching.